Okay, I'm out here now, and so before I begin, it's really important that you understand, to understand these videos, especially this one, that you had to have watched my past videos. You have to understand the tree remains like I've showed you, and you have to retain the memory, because some of this won't make sense. So, well, where to begin? Okay, remember, I'm going to show you that the metals originated in the biblical trees. And you know, this is so important because there's so many implications, and proves the lies of this world, and this educational system, and you know, there's just so many implications attached to it. So let me just show you a few things here. Okay, so I've shown you that the quartz is the petrified sap. Okay, I've shown you that the mica is the wood. Okay, so I have a small piece of sap right here that I got off of a cedar tree, and you see the wood inside here. It's just like that, the same exact thing. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Okay, so this would be the mica that's right here, and right here, and right here, just like you see here. And that would have been the quartz. That would have been the sap that petrified. Okay, it's the same exact thing. Okay, and you see here, this is the same thing. And then you have feldspar inside here. Feldspar is part of the tree. It's not the part of a giant creature dragon that where the sand turned into, the flesh turned into sand. The feldspar. Okay, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I've told you all these geodes is what they call them. I'm going to show you that all this is sap. Okay, this here is sap right here from a modern day tree. It's crystallized. Okay, so before I continue here, let me take you over here. So I crushed up some of the crystallized sap. Okay, and you see it right here. So this is some sap right here that I crushed up and crystallized. Okay, I mean that was crystallized from modern day trees. And I want you to look at this. I'll put a lot of pictures in here. Okay, and then when you look at the let me zoom this in. So here's part of the tree, and here's the sap. When you look at the sap, you'll see it's the same exact thing. Same here. You got the tree right here, and then you got the sap. When you crush this up, or you crush this up, the petrified sap from the biblical trees, you'll see it's the same exact thing as this. That right there is petrified sap. This is crystallized sap crushed up from a modern day cedar. Okay, it's the same exact thing. Okay.
Someone's on the prowl, trying to take us down, but we ain't giving up now. A liar and a thief coming after you and me, but we ain't giving up now. The harder the wind will blow, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own
Okay, so we're gonna go back over here. So I'm really limited on the sap because my house burnt down, if you don't know, and I've lost everything. And a lot of my it's just not a lot of all my stuff that I've collected over the years got burned up and destroyed. So anyway, this sap right here, hold on a second. This sap right here is no different than this or that, okay? Let me just show you here. So this is petrified, this is crystallized sap that I crushed up right here, just like that. Okay, and it does the exact same thing, but on a different scale. All these pieces in there is all sap, okay? Just like you see here. This here is sap, and it's the same exact thing you see here. So this piece here, I just busted it up. So this used to be all one piece. But you'll see, it's all part of the sap that crystallized and petrified. Okay? The same as this. If I crush this up or cut it in half, this is a lighter color right here. But the darker color, you'll see it does the same thing right here. This is just only crystallized. It's not petrified. Okay, and when you get into these crystals, like this one's kind of a bluish. This one, I don't know what color you would call that, but it's not white. It's an off-white. And then you have white. This thing will happen naturally with sap, with maple or honey or sugar. And then on a larger scale, these crystals will become larger. But this is a natural occurring thing. This is sap right here. And I'm going to show you some more to hammer it home, so to speak. This is just discolored because it was open. It wasn't a sealed unit, so to speak, and it became weathered. All this is right here, I know this don't look like tree, but I'll show you in a minute. This is sap. That way there was a pocket of sap that crystallized, and it did this, okay? This is the natural forming thing from different plants, trees, shrubs, bushes of vegetation. Okay, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But I want you to look at this again before we leave from here. This here was no different than this. It was just a big ball of sap that it crystallized and petrified. So I'm going to cut this up here right in front of you. Hold on. Actually, that's kind of soft, so let me see here. See it, if I could get a microscope and zoom in on this, I know you see all these bumps and stuff of the, this is all just quartz. You would see the same thing in this if I was able to really zoom in on it. But it's a small version. So anyway, you break this open. Okay, now I broke this open, and let me spin this around. You'll see this is sap from a regular modern day cedar tree. And you'll see it's the same exact thing. Okay? Let me zoom in a little bit. You see that? And then I just cut this in half in front of you. It's the same exact thing. Okay? This one, the other half, it's the same exact thing. It might be hard to believe, but I'm showing it to you. That is sap. Okay? I'm going to show you this one more time. This is the petrified sap. This is the wood, that's mica that was in it. Just like this piece right here. This sap is crystallized. If it petrified, it would, and this turned into mica, just like this, okay? It's the exact same concept. Same here, you got the mica, you got the crystal, you got the petrified sap, just like this. Okay. Okay. And then all this here is just when I was busting that that big sap ball up right there, this is just stuff that broke off. But if you zoom in on that, you'll see it's identical to the crystallized sap.
Though the waters try to drown and the flames they surround, oh, we ain't giving up now. Even though we may tread through the valley of death, oh, we ain't giving up now. The harder the wind will blow, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hang. The devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own gallows. Hey, hey.
We'll go right over here. I got 3 other places I want to show you. Okay, so this is what wood looks like after it's kind of rotted and decayed. And then it breaks down into sand. So I'm showing you this. This is the inside of a tree. Okay, possibly some kind of plant or bush or something. Could have been a tree. But then you get this stuff coming out of it. I've explained this. This stuff. It's what the world calls flint. They make arrowheads and stuff out of. You see here, in my video on the mica, I have a piece of sap, white sap, that's just like this. And the little wood chips from the bark are in it. Just like this. This is wood. Okay? All them pieces like here I showed you, this is the sap. And just little pieces of the tree bark and tree that's incorporated in the sap. Similar to this modern piece right here, this is still soft. But this would be the petrified, this would be the sap that came out of the tree, okay? And you see the wood, pieces of the wood and stuff incorporated in it. Okay? Under the right conditions, this right here, this sap with all the wood pieces in it, would do the same thing as this, okay? You see all the wood in it, that's mica. This would have done the same thing, all the little wood pieces in it, and this is soft, you see? It hasn't crystallized yet. So this is the same thing as that. Okay? So when I told you about the crystal, okay, so this is what that crushed up crystallized sap, this would be the same exact thing right here. I want you to look at this, okay? So you see this is the petrified wood, and this is the sap that petrified in the tree. And I want you to look at this. Okay? That is the petrified sap from the biblical trees. Okay? Look at it real close again. Okay? Now hold on. You come over here. And this is the sap that crystallized, and I'll do it right in front of you and show you that it's, watch, hold on. Okay, and I'll put it back with that stuff, but you'll see it's all the same. Okay, it's not all together in one rock, it's just split up, but it's the same exact thing as this. Okay, you see that? This is petrified, and you'll see, I'll show you that that I didn't mix any pieces in, that this is crystallized. See, it's crystallized, it's not, I didn't. See, this is all crystallized, and it's the same thing as that. Okay, so let's go back over here. So once again, this is the wood. This is the wood that turned to mica, the petrified sap. And all the gold and all the other metals were in here, in the quartz. Quartz and gold and copper, they always run together. You will not find one without the other. And what I'm showing you here is, I've showed you before, I've shown hundreds of thousands, literally, examples in the last 5 years in my videos. But this is a petrified sap, and how everything gets the flat edges. This is a piece of wood, one of them little pieces.
So if you're stumbling in the dark, run your hands against the walls, find every window and every door. Throw them open, and in will flood a blinding light, and it will chase away the night, even if you
little pieces. And you see it turn to crystal, not like this petrified sap. But if you look at this under a loop right here, you'll see it's also small crystals like this. This happened under different condition. This is a piece of petrified wood. I know it's not that color, but I'm telling you it is, just like this. This was a little pocket of sap inside the tree. And this piece right here is like a grain of sand in the whole ocean. Okay, the same thing here. These little pockets of sap. This is part of the tree. And you know how they all get the flat edges. And you come here. This is feldspar. It's part of the tree. It's not part of the flesh of an animal that's 50 miles long or larger. It's ridiculous. This is the petrified sap. Okay. Let's go right over here. Once again, so here's the wood right here that turned to mica. The petrified sap and a little feldspar in there. And the gold, the silver, the copper, everything runs in this. It was not deposited, okay? You'll see right here. This is a piece of wood. This is the petrified sap. The gold, they do all the hard rock mining because all the metals and minerals are in the rock, which are the biblical tree remains, okay? You really need to understand that. See, this is that right there, this darker band, that's all wood. And you'll see it turn to mica. This is the petrified sap. This is just some sap with some of the wood pieces integrated in it. Okay? So, I think that's about it, but I want you to understand that I'm going to show you that this here, the gold runs in this, and all the other minerals and metals, okay? Showing you that this is sap. For some it may be hard to believe, but I'm showing you. I just crushed that piece up that I had, but you know, if you were to look at this under a loop, this is crystallized sap, okay? It's the same, and I'll show you again, it's crystallized. It's not just a piece of rock that I took off there to make it look alike. Okay, so this is actually soft. See, hold on. Well, shit, it just went everywhere. But anyway, this is crystallized sap. This one's a little soft, but it's the same thing. And if you were to look at it under a microscope or a powerful loupe, you would see it's all the same. And you know, this subject is so large, especially getting into the periodic table, with stuff like this and stuff like this. Okay, I'm showing you, it's self-evident. Okay, I'm showing you, this is all the sap. It's all the same.
Someone's on the prowl, trying to take us down, but we ain't giving up now. A liar and a thief coming after you and me, but we ain't giving up now. The harder the wind will blow, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own gallows. Though the waters try to drown and the flames they surround, oh, we ain't giving up now. Even though we may tread through the valley of death, oh, we ain't giving up now. The harder the wind will blow, the deeper our roots will go, and the devil is gonna hang. The devil is gonna hang. Oh, the devil is gonna hang from his own gallows. Hey, hey.
So I'm actually going to set the camera up so you can kind of watch this as I do it. I'm going to take this piece off right here. I took a piece off right here already, and you'll see. Okay, you see the wood. Okay, you see the wood right here, very preserved. You come right here, this will kind of show you the true color of what all this is really supposed to look like. Okay, you see that? That does not have the moss algae on it like this does. This is pretty close to the dark brown reddish it should be. I don't know how well it shows to the camera. Maybe I'll put a couple pictures in here I'll take with my phone that takes better pictures. Okay, the trees break apart like fibers in today's world and the biblical trees. So I'm going to set this up and we'll take this off together. Hold on. Okay, I think that's going to hold, hopefully the stuff don't fall down and break my camera. All right, here we go. Let's see here. I'll show you what these pieces look like. Holy smoke, that's on there good. Well, it might prove harder than... Oh, holy smokes. Well, I wanted it to come off in a big chunk. Alright, we'll leave it at that. Let's look at what we got. Okay. So, that's on there more than what I thought. Let's look at some of the pieces. Okay, you see here, it's fresh wood. This is petrified, so no, you can't burn it. I'll show you. It's wood. Okay. We're going to go to a couple other spots where I may be able to peel a bigger piece off. A couple different areas. Okay. So we're going to leave this at that. I'm going to try to get a bigger piece off. I got a 6-foot spud bar, but it's back in my truck. I got the girls here keeping watch. There's Roxy, and Grace is right down there. When we were up here in April, we encountered a mountain lion, and she was growling and shaking uncontrollably, but everything worked out fine. Anyway, I'm going to try to get a piece of this off, a larger piece. If not, we're just going to move on to the next spot. Okay, check this out. Okay, some things are very prominent due to the weather and which direction they face. So here, this is a good example of showing you the petrified wood. Okay, I'm going to get up close to it. It's like fibers. All of it. Let me pause it. Let me try to get up there. Hold on. Well, here's some right here for you to look at. Okay, and then I'll go over there. All that discolored stuff like that is the same. We've been through that. And like I tell you, the tree rings are like fibers. Okay, look at this. This is incredible. I'm going to go a little closer. Look at this. That looks like one of them tables that they cut a slab of wood off and put polyurethane on. It is so incredible. Look, I see. Oh, it's in there so tight. Can't get it out. I left my bar in the truck. Got tired of carrying it around. Okay. Look at the color of this. Hold on. Look at some of that color in the wood. I'm sure it's faded a lot. It's pretty incredible. Look it up under there. That broke off. You see, that wasn't a natural split like all this is. That was snapped off after it was felled. Let's go over here. See, so when I show you all this stuff like this, it's hard to recognize, but this is what it looks like. Okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. Let me go right down here. Hold on. See, so all this empty space was all connected. It's just all them pieces just went, like I've shown you many times. Here's one of the gaps. Right here, they're all over. The gaps you would walk through. The way the tree breaks down and all the splits. There's one of the gaps. The gaps. They're all over. They're everywhere. This little section right here broke off. This was snapped off. It wasn't broke off naturally. It doesn't even look petrified. It really doesn't. Look at this. That is so massive. I'm going to get up there close one more time because I won't be back here again to document this. Okay. Look at this. I mean, from what I see here, it looks like fresh wood. It doesn't even look petrified. It's truly incredible. Gee. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, once again, we're going to walk through the split. It's kind of like an ant walking through one of the splits of the trees today. And it goes on and on and on like this, as far as the eye can see, for literally a 100-mile radius. That is mind-blowing. So what I'm going to show you now is pretty important, because it's going to give you a pretty good visual of just how large these branches were and how I know they're branches. Once again, this is just a tiny sliver of the upright portion of the tree stump that's still remaining. Okay, let's go up and look at it. Okay, that's just a small section. It goes all the way around, and I think I might be able to get this in over here. That's part of it. It's so massive. Okay, so let me show you this here. Okay, this here continues on and on and on. I mean, it's endless. And I want you to see here, you see this piece here. In the trees today, I've shown you how they break down with the gaps and splits. So you hear, this is a split, and then you have the gaps, and it's like this all the way down, okay? You have a piece, a gap, a piece, a gap, and it does that all the way down for a mile. And it goes from way down over there to way down over here. It just, see, it goes, it's just continuous. Okay, all of this. But one thing I want you to understand is, as it gradually goes down, these are level. All these are level. So if all this is missing as it goes down, wherever the top is, we're getting pretty close. If you were to project this out, all the way out above the trees, all of that would have been part of the branch. Hundreds of feet down, it would have been up here. That when it was actually wood, and it was broken apart in pieces like this, like I've shown you in the piece of wood, and I'll put a picture in here right now. Okay, and then the flood came and took a lot of them pieces away and left the stronger pieces that were attached stronger to the branch intact, and they petrified. But I hope you understand that this is probably the highest one. So, and they're all level. So if you were to project this, because this all used to be one branch, all the way down, it's the same. It was so massive. And that gap you walk through, I've shown you that. It's just a little gap between the pieces in the branch of today's world. Okay? So I want to take you right back over here and show you one more thing. Hold on. So I'm just going to let you walk with me. But I want you to see how this goes. All this empty space where I'm standing used to be all connected. It's all over there. These are just remnants that are attached, most of them, to the branch. Now look right here. This is just another tiny, this right here is large, but it's like a grain of sand in the whole ocean compared to how large these trees were. Look at this. It's just a small section. This, from all the way over there, used to be here, all the way around over that way, and it used to carry all the way out that way. This goes down, used to go all the way out. All that's missing. It's so massive. And there she is in all her glory. That's just like one shard of a tree stump. Let me just show you one more time. Well, my battery died, and I was going to show you that this here is just one shard, just like the monument of Mount Rushmore. It would be just one shard sticking up, and you can't see all the rest of it. But that what I just showed you is just one little area of the whole stump of the tree that's still remaining. That's all it is. It's just one small area. God, I can't even, I don't know how well you can see all this stuff. It's just so massive. Let's go back right over here and take a look at this. There's the gap. You walk through the gap. You walk through the gap. It's amazing how some things stay like this and others get this, but it depends on the moisture and which direction it's facing. This is pretty incredible. Look at this. Look at that. That is so incredible. Can you imagine this once living? And you know, the Bible does say, especially in the Garden of Eden, the Garden of Eden was in the Garden of God. So I haven't figured that out. But these trees could be seen from all ends of the earth, and not on a round globe. There are not ends of the earth on a round globe. So everything I've been showing you lines right up with biblical. So if you're not into that, I sure hope that kind of changes your mind a little bit. Look at this. I mean, this is such a small piece, but it is so incredible. I would love to have this in my front yard, and I could testimony to so many people. It'd be pretty incredible. It would be. Well, I'm going to take a few pictures with my camera and include them with this. But, you know, when you see this, it doesn't look like much. It just looks like stone. But when the moss isn't on it, you see that it's all tree remain. Such a tiny piece, and all this space, all of it is just gone. This branch used to come all the way up and over, and the rest of it's under the ground. You know, when you have a branch that falls and you have the smaller twigs off of it, that's the way it is, and it's just piled upon branch after branch after branch. Look how high that is. And these mountains, they're so tall, and it's all a buildup of the tree remains going down to Lord knows how far, including the root system that had to anchor that tree to the ground. In Ezekiel 31, it says they went down to great waters. Well, the only great waters that I know of are the fountains of the great deep. You know, if you really read Ezekiel 31 100 times, and you're going to get something different out of it each time. It's not a metaphor, okay? Where he's comparing King Pharaoh to Assyrian. It's true and literal. I'm showing you, okay? This world lies to you. Pastors lie to you because they're not spirit filled, and they're in it for the money, or they just don't understand. But I'm telling you, these trees were biblical, and they were different. And I said it before, that there were, just like today, there's so many different kind of trees and plant and fruit-bearing trees and herbs. Everything that we need to survive comes from the earth. But I'm telling you that depending upon the tree, that golds, all the metal groups were properties of these trees. I'm telling you. You look at feldspar. I did a video on it. Several different things come out as feldspar, but feldspar, it's underneath the bark of the tree. It's a different layer to the tree, and they get different minerals from feldspar, and it goes on and on and on with different minerals and metals. You look at copper. Copper got all the quartz in it, just like the gold. The copper was a conductive metal that was in liquid form inside the tree. It was not deposited. Where'd the copper come from? They tell you from magma. It's a lie. They tell you from exploding stars. It's all just sorcery. Okay? I'm trying to show you the truth. This ain't an opinion or a thought or a belief. I'm telling you. I'm showing you. But anyway, I'm going to take some pictures of this, and if I run into anything else that's pretty incredible, I'll film it, and I probably won't get very far, so I'm gonna move on.